All right, hey everybody. My name is James. This is the first live coding session of our brand new Plutus project-based learning course at Gimbal Labs. We meet every Wednesday and Thursday starting at 14:30 UTC. And anytime you want to, you can check out the calendar of events. So I'm just sharing my screen over here. So you can see on my screen, I'm at plutuspbl.io/live coding. And here's a list of upcoming sessions, including this one right here. For each one, there's a quick description of what we'll be covering that day and a registration link. And video links or recording links will start to be posted starting today as well, as soon as this one is posted. We're excited to start this structure. So as I think a lot of you know, the new iteration of Plutus PBL just went live this week. And you can see a list of what we're going to cover in the course outline right here. I'll drop this link in the chat for anybody who needs it. And if you click on any of these modules, you'll see a go live date. So for example, module 100 is already live, March 13th, all right? So this Monday. Module number 101 goes live next Monday in just 5 days or so. And if you're curious when the rest of the modules are coming out, you can just click on any of them to see the date we're targeting for releasing each of those. Does anybody have any questions about this high-level course outline or about the logistics of live coding? Okay, so keep in mind that those resources exist. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, excited to get to know you. So the way this live coding session is going to work, or I should say all live coding sessions are going to work, is we're always going to have an agenda for something that we might cover. But even more important than our agenda is your questions. Okay, so questions might be relatively limited right now because we're just getting started. But I just want everybody here to know that when we open every live coding session, step one is to take your questions about the course, whether you got stuck on a lesson you were working on, or if you just have some high-level question that you want to ask the team. And we'll do our very best to answer those, okay? Sometimes I might say to you, ooh, make sure you go look at this lesson. It's about your question right now. And other times, if a question is really hard to answer in a live space, we will share with you the ways that we'll follow up on that later. But the experience of our team is that usually the questions students are bringing to these meetings are exactly what we need to talk about. And so we really always want to start there. After we go through any Q&A that students bring to live coding, then the team will jump into our agenda for the day. So our main agenda item is just for people who have been working on the course to have a chance to introduce themselves so you all know who you're learning from. Tomorrow, this is referenced in, I guess I can make this a little bigger too. This is referenced in lesson 100.3, that we're going to talk a little bit about wallet security tomorrow. And this, everybody's welcome to share their tips, right? How do you protect your private keys? And you can see some other upcoming agendas here. And this calendar is going to continue to be fleshed out. You'll also see that Indonesia and Vietnam are on this list. We're working on a variety of translations of the course in real time right now. These translations will go live over the next few weeks. And in different corners of the world, different teams are going to have the ability to host local dedicated live coding sessions. So more to come on that. I just want you to know that that's something that we've been planning behind the scenes for a little while. Any questions about Q&A or what else I just shared about the course? Yeah, Juan. Hi.
Good morning, James, everybody. Yes, I do have, let me just turn my camera on because I'm talking to you guys. Okay, yeah, I do have a question. I was going through module 100, of course, and when I was connecting wallets, I found that, I initially I connected NAMI. I had no problem with that. Then after that, I intended to connect Flint, which was not included on the expectations for the course. So I was able to connect it, but then I tried to connect Ether, which is the one that we are going to work with, and I couldn't remove the other one. So it gives me that limitation, and I just want to point that out.
This is a really valuable question. Thanks for bringing this up. Do you mind sharing your screen right now just to illustrate what you're talking about?
Sure. Do that. Share screen. There you go. So the assignment was to connect NAMI and Ether, right? I went ahead and connect NAMI, but then for some reason, I think I was to try to test the system. I connected Flint, but I wasn't able to connect Ether. So, but I do have them here. And also I have Ether on the browser, which is here, if you can see that.
Yep. Looks good. Okay, so there's a couple of really helpful things for people to start to learn here. That's why I'm so excited that you're bringing this question. First of all, this connect wallet button that when you mouse over it, it shows you a list of wallets. This is provided for us by the Mesh.js libraries. And so anybody who's brand new to this course, I want you to know that starting in module 201, in a couple weeks, we're going to look very closely at how we built the front end that you're using right now. And one of the things you'll start to learn about is how to use Mesh. So just know, okay, that it's Mesh that's looking at your browser and noticing what wallets are installed. And the first thing, Juan, I notice is that when you press this Connect Wallet menu, for some reason, it doesn't even see Eternal, right?
No.
Okay, it sees Flint and NAMI somehow. So this is, I don't know all the technical details about why this happens, but I can describe what is happening. Sometimes there's collisions between different browser extensions, okay? There was a funny one like 6 months ago where anybody who had Eternal installed in a browser was not able to use Miro, the productivity software, in the same browser window. There's always maybe some unintended consequences to installing browser extensions. And when we talk about security later in this course, it might be interesting to spend a little bit of time on, how secure a browser extension could be and maybe what some alternatives are, okay? What I recommend is using different accounts in your Brave or your Chrome browser, okay? So yeah, Steve, exactly, right? That issue was there for a little while, then it was fixed, thank goodness. But Juan, have you ever set up multiple browser account instances?
I do use Brave, and I lately started using Chrome because of the limitations with Brave for some processes. So just to avoid all that verification nonsense and speed up things, I use Chrome sometimes. But those are the only two I do.
So actually Brave is a fork of the Chrome browser. That's actually built on a lot of the same architecture with some changes. So I'll show you something here, but I'm going to pass it to Nelson first. Hey, Nelson, what do you think?
Hi guys. Uh, Hi Ivan. I think I kind of understand what's going on right here. So when we use the website eternal.io and set up a wallet there, I think it stores itself in the cookies, and so when you go to eternal.io again, you can access the wallet again. I don't think you have installed the Eternal extension right here in your browser. Is that true? And that should be the case why it's not showing up.
Extension. Let's see. I have. You mean the wallet extension is what you're saying?
Yes.
You have the NAMI, right? I have your OEM also Flint. Okay. Let me just go to Eternal.
You can click on the puzzle piece icon that looks like it's next to Flint up there as well, and you can see if there's any other extensions hiding. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this shows, you see what Nelson's saying here? We don't have Eternal actually installed as an extension.
Got you. That's why it doesn't recognize it, huh? Great. Good. So now the question is, how do I do that? Because the thing is, I did it, and it did install it on the browser right here.
It opened it up, but you look at the URL right here. You see how it says eternal.io as the web address of this page.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That URL is actually going to be different once we're using the browser extension.
Let me open.
But let's not rush into this, because there's another tip I want to give you first. Okay. And Nelson, thanks for that catch. This is great. Let's not install it yet. Okay. And here's why. Often, even after you install this extension, there can later on be some unintended consequences to having multiple wallets installed in the same browser. Okay. And you actually might be fine installing this right now. But for anybody who's learning development, I strongly recommend having separate browser accounts, and for each one, installing a different wallet in each. Juan, can we do a live demo of what I mean by that? Okay. So do you see in the top right-hand corner of your Brave browser, there's the 3 lines, the little hamburger icon. Click here, and we are going to create a new profile about halfway down.
Stop me when I get there.
One more. There it is.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And we can't actually see the dialog that popped up, but maybe you have the ability to create a new account on your screen right now.
Okay.
And personally, what I do here, I might call this one PPBL Eternal, and that would be my signal to myself, okay, this is the browser where I am learning PPBL with the Eternal wallet.
Okay. Done.
So when that's complete, good, a new window opens up. And now your browser looks a little bit different in the top right corner. You've got this little circle icon. If you click on that, you can see that you can now switch between your different profiles. Okay. And what I do on my dev machine is I just create a bunch of different profiles, PPBL Eternal, PPBL NAMI, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, Flint should work, okay? We suggested NAMI and Eternal just to give everybody a place to start, but it should be possible to work through this course with Flint as well, okay? So you can make as many different browser instances as you want. And now that you're in this one, you could install the Eternal extension and play around with it from there. And this gives you the ability to interact with your applications from different wallets. And as you'll start to see in this course, there's advantages to each one. I use NAMI, for example, when I want to accomplish something quickly, because it's very lightweight, it's really easy to use. But anytime I'm really trying to diagnose whether or not a transaction is working, in those situations, I always use Eternal because its transaction preview comes with a lot more details. All right. And you'll start to realize which wallets you like at different times. Maybe you'll always use the same one, but maybe you'll start to see kind of the relative strengths of the different ones. All right, so I hope I'm not scaring anybody away. You see, you try to ask a simple question like Juan just did, and you get all this extra background knowledge. But this is exactly how live coding is supposed to work. We really hope that you'll bring questions just like this. And every time you do, it's going to give the teachers here a chance to kind of help you out with troubleshooting, but also maybe show you a couple things that weren't yet covered in the course.
So connecting. So I'm going to install on this one Eternal, right? And open the course. And the options that I'm going to get will allow me to install Eternal on the course, right? Okay.
Yeah, so Roberto just shared this link in the chat straight to the web store, right? That'll allow you to install the Eternal extension. And then once that's set up, you'll see it. The drop-down menu for connecting a wallet is going to look different than in your other browser instance. This one will show you that Eternal is available.
Okay, good.
Keep in mind as well, this was covered in the video for, I forget which lesson it was, but in module 101, I mentioned the fact that you can use the same mnemonic words across different wallets. Okay, so I have just one, I made just one new wallet with a new set of mnemonics last week that I'm using on pre-prod. But then after I created those mnemonics first in NAMI, I then immediately imported those same mnemonics straight into Eternal. So now even when I go to my two separate browser windows to use this wallet or that wallet, the assets in each of those wallets are the same. And this gives you a nice way to see that. Of course, it's a little bit more complicated. I don't want to overwhelm anybody right now, but actually the assets won't be exactly the same because NAMI derives only a single address, whereas Eternal creates a set of addresses, but we'll jump into how and why that happens a little bit later in the course. How do you feel about this one?
Good thing. Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right. Anybody else have questions about anything you've seen so far in module 100 or just practical questions about the course itself? All right. Yeah, Jeff, I love it. So changing between the real funds on mainnet versus pre-prod is one of the critical steps. And maybe other people have had this experience. You can actually connect a mainnet wallet to our course and it'll show you the balance of your wallet, but it won't actually work. You won't be able to, if you've seen the yellow and green progress bar at the top of module 100, it won't turn green if you're connected to mainnet. And also you won't be able to mint a contributor token if you're connected to mainnet. And I hope people are wondering, wow, how does that work? And why does that work? That's exactly what we're going to teach you a little bit later in the course. Augustine, hey, it's good to see you around.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you too. You hear me? I have a little question. I noticed when you are in the web app tracks progress. So I was figuring out how the web app tracks your progress. There's some ways to do it. I think session storage and cookies. And I thought if I erase cookies, so I have that questions how the web app tracks the progress.
Very good. Okay. Great question. So far, we don't add anything natively to the application. Actually, Juan, can you stop sharing here and I'll pull something up on the screen?
Oh, sure. Just doing this here. Can't find my browser. Hold on a second. I did. Find a way. Let me leave and come back.
We just kick you out here. You'll figure it out. You got it. All right. So want to look at Augustine's question here. So this is the source code for the very first lesson 100.1. Okay. And down here, here's the button for connecting a wallet, and it's that message, try to connect a wallet, make sure it's on pre-prod. So far, so good. Then we have a couple of elements on the page that change if you're successful. There's this success component right here, which is within the app itself. And then there's the status bar that runs across the top of the page, but that's not actually on here. So let me show you this first, and then we'll go look at the status bar, right? So this thing, for checking mastery, it's looking at two things. It's looking to see if we have connected and if network equals 0. All right, where do those come from? Well, we can go up here. There's a couple of hooks set up. All of these connected, actually connected is a property of the use wallet hook. And then we have a use address hook and a use network hook. All of those are part of the Mesh.js SDK. Okay, so just provided out of the box. You can actually read the documentation for these at Mesh.js. And for anybody who hasn't seen that yet, I'll pull it up on the screen in just a moment. Okay. But for all of these checks, we are leaning on the hooks that are part of the Mesh SDK. And we're simply saying, let's see, if connected returns true and network is equal to 0, then we're going to say that mastery has been achieved. Within this success component, we can look at the source for that as well, right? After we pass the mastery value, we can light up a badge that either says success or in progress, and we can show some data on the page. And those children, right? That's all of this stuff right here. We can also add whatever arbitrary styling we want to, right? So network is 0, good, you're connected. Otherwise, there's a message. That language is probably a little bit wrong. I need to fix that. Okay. But so far, Augustine, I hope this is answering your question, albeit with a little bit of a detour here. But does that make sense, right? There's nothing directly added to our application around session storage or cookies or anything like that.
So you rely on a third app to stretch?
We rely on the Mesh SDK.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, let's just look at the course, the status bar as well. So there's that status bar that runs across the top of the page. This too is just taking a set of conditions, and they're going to be the same ones. So we'll study a little bit more about what those conditions are and how they can be. We're doing some really interesting work right now thinking about what on-chain data we can look at as well. Okay. And so an initial example of that, there's a slightly more complicated check for mastery in lesson 100.4. All right, so this one, it's still going to show mastery if you're connected, and you also must have a defined connected PPBL 2023 token. Okay, well, this, where does that come from? That's a use state hook. So anybody who's familiar with React, perhaps you've heard of use state before. If this is brand new to you, don't worry, we're going to cover this in module 201. But we set up this use state hook right here, and then we have a use effect hook that says, okay, look at the assets. Here's another mesh hook. Look at those assets in the connected wallet. And if there's an asset there with the policy ID in question, then set that as the connected token. And at that point, once this right here happens, this hook is no longer undefined. It now has an asset in it. And so this bit right here will return true. And that's the success we are looking for. Okay. So this is just using on wallet data. And soon enough, we're going to start to also see some on-chain queries that help us assess whether or not you've mastered a given learning target. What do you think?
Cool. By the way, I love the app. It was very interactive. So congratulations.
Thanks, partner. And thanks for the early question. I like knowing that you're already thinking and tinkering around under the hood with what's going on. Now, when it comes
Yes.
to mesh itself, let's take a quick look here. I don't have a full answer to your question, to be honest with you. So you can review the mesh source code. Here's the mesh website. I'll put it in the chat. If this is new to anybody, I definitely recommend checking it out. And I just want you to know we're going to cover this in depth starting in module 201. But you can also review the source code right here. You can review some of the hooks I was just showing you. Here's the React menu. I'm going to head over to wallet hooks. And you can see some of the ones I was just using. Use address, use network, for example, use wallet. And there's even built-in tests right here. So hopefully this button looks familiar. You've already seen this because we use it as well in our course. If I connect a NAMI wallet right here, I can see that I'm on network 0, which is testnet. I can see that I have 989 test ADA. And right, I can look at, what is this one? Use wallet is connected, returns is connected, a status, right? This is your temporary connecting state, name of the wallet, etc. Okay, so this is all here. What I don't know exactly, because I haven't ever taken the time to build a browser wallet, I don't know exactly where all of this data is being stored in the browser. Okay, so we would have to look deeper into the mesh source code or the wallet source code to understand a bit more about that. And if there's anybody on the team here who has a little bit more knowledge about this, I would love for you to jump in here. If anybody wants to hop in. But then the other way to learn a little bit more about this is from SIP 30 right here. So we're going to talk a lot about the Cardano improvement proposals. There's a few SIPs that have been on everybody's mind across the Cardano ecosystem lately. We'll get to some of those later in the course. But one really interesting one to read is number 30. This is the Cardano dApp wallet web bridge. And this describes how, the basic functionality that all browser wallets should have, so that there are standards that dApp developers can rely on. This is what allows us to build the PPBL course once, but for people to interact with it via different wallets, Nami, Eternal, and even like Juan is showing us, Flint shows up, right? We didn't have to build a different dApp for each of those wallets because those wallets are taking the responsibility of building according to this standard right here. Now, it's been a while since I've read this closely. I don't know if it says anything about browser storage. I don't see it in the contents here, and I think that would be beyond the scope of this SIP. But just an interesting spot to look if you're trying to understand the architecture. Anybody got good insights on browser wallets for us? All right, and Augustine, I hope you keep hacking there and let us know what you find as you keep exploring what's going on under the hood. For anybody who might be just joining, what I covered at the start of this session is that there's a list of Plutus PBL live coding sessions here. I can jump to the main version. And you can always be checking back on this link right here to see a list of upcoming sessions, registration links, and the descriptions of what we're going to do. Today's agenda is we want just to introduce ourselves to you. So we'll jump to this agenda item in just a moment. But no matter what the agenda item that you see for these live coding sessions, we'll always start with a little bit of Q&A. So be sure to bring your questions. We'll start there before jumping into any agenda that we have planned. Juan.
James, I just want to mention Game Changer. I don't know why I don't have it installed, but that's a wallet that we should be playing with. I know they have a lot of development lately. Unfortunately, I'm not aware because I don't keep it up. But if anybody knows a little bit about it, it would be great to know. It's very, very important for us to support that project.
It's interesting. So with regards to SIP 30, Game Changer has not yet prioritized building the SIP 30 compliance. Okay, they've really taken a very different approach to building a wallet, which means, you know, for anybody who's played with it, you know that there's some exciting stuff going on there. It's a pretty incredible tool for developers. But the reason we don't introduce it in module 100 is because it doesn't actually provide this sort of browser wallet functionality yet in the same way. That's about to change. They've been doing some incredible work. A new version of that wallet is coming out soon. And my understanding is that it will be SIP 30 compliant. But if anybody knows more about that, feel free to jump in with some updates. Martin, I know that you have a close collaboration with the team.
Yeah. Well, they are now on pre-production, at least. Before they were on testnet.
Yep.
So, but I'm not sure about when they are releasing version 2. He is working on it, Adriano. So we have to wait.
You know, there's also some beauty. I mean, this raises an important point about wallets and blockchain architecture. We don't need every wallet to be a SIP 30 compliant wallet, right? We need a variety of tools that are good at certain things. And at this point, there's a bunch of wallets that I can install if I need a browser wallet. But I'm not aware of any other wallets that, like Game Changer, are working with hardware designers like Martin to build, for example, a point of sale terminal, right? So these are, and anybody who wants to know more about that, there was a presentation at Gimbal Labs Playground just a couple of weeks ago. There's a recording of it on the Gimbal Labs website. But this is critical, right? I would love to see developers thinking beyond the browser-based wallet to what else a wallet needs to be. And we'll have a chance to think about that together closer to the end of this course. One of the projects we're thinking about suggesting to people is just to build your own wallet, right? And to think about how you would do that and what features you'd want it to have. All right, so as always, we're all getting this process down together. But let's hop over to the planned agenda for today's session, which is just to give people who have been contributing to the PPBL course so far a chance to introduce ourselves. You'll be hearing a lot more from all of us in the weeks to come. You heard my voice on the first couple of lectures in Module 100, because I have a very strong interest in the onboarding stuff and how we get people to start thinking about what it means to be a Cardano developer. But as we move through the course, you'll hear more and more from other teachers who have been going really deep into front-end designs or into Plutus smart contract design, et cetera, et cetera. So my name is James. I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Gimbal Labs, and I had a proposal in Fund 1 of Project Catalyst to do exactly this, what we're doing right now. At the time, I called it open source experiential learning because I wasn't sure if people knew what project-based learning was. I don't know why I chose the word experiential instead. That is a real thing, but it doesn't seem to be any better than project-based learning. But we've really clarified the goals, really to gather around this concept of project-based learning. And I'm really excited that we've so far been able to build a team to start elaborating on these ideas. The very first iteration of Plutus PBL started with just 5 people in September of 2021. Then last year in 2022, we ran the first public instance of the course. It ran from about February to April. I think we had 13 people signed up for it. And one of them, who will introduce himself in just a few minutes, was, I think, the only graduate of that course. Mix, hey. And then we launched the next public version of the course last July 2022. And about 380 people signed up. Different people made different amounts of progress through it, and approximately 20 people finished the entire PPBL 2022 course. And that brings us to today, where we are this week releasing the newest iteration, this time on our own web platform. And yeah, I love these 10 weeks where we keep building the content and start rolling it out to the community. So that's about me. Team, anybody want to jump in and introduce yourself next? I see Juan and Roberto ready to go. Hey, Juan.
Let me do it. Okay, greetings, everyone. My name is Juan Sierra, but you know me as Juan the One. I'm excited to be part of the new course with Gimbal Labs, and wanting to let you know who am I and what I've been doing. I share a vision with Gimbal Labs that education should be more than traditional classroom learning. I'm passionate about innovation education and that enables learners to apply their knowledge in practical ways. That's why I'm thrilled to be part of Gimbal Labs, whose project-based learning approach aligns with my beliefs. In today's world, we need more trust and transparency, especially as blockchain technology continues to influence our daily lives. And I'm convinced that Gimbal Labs' focus on blockchain education is essential to addressing this need. As a Gimbal Labs contributor, a learner, and a 100-module instructor, I'm eager to support anyone who needs assistance in any way I can. I'm looking forward to working with you all and to make this course a success. Thanks for having me, James.
Thanks
Me.
for being here, partner.
Oh, and I was reading, of course, as you notice.
Love it, man. Thank
And
you.
didn't practice, which is typical of here in Jimala House. There you go. Who's next? I'll pass the ball to Roberto.
Hi, everybody. My name is Roberto. My background is in law. I'm a lawyer. I'm originally from Guatemala, and my wife is a researcher. So when I found out that Cardano was based on actual research and development, as opposed to the normal Silicon Valley move fast and break things, and knowing the problems with governance from a country like Guatemala, I was very, very interested in blockchain development. So I decided to transition into software development. I've been learning the MERN stack for the past 3 years, still pretty sucky, but I'm progressing. And I decided to learn Haskell. Started to learn Haskell about a year and a half ago. I did the Amorgo Haskell developer and then the Plutus developer course. And then I found Gimbal Apps and I've done a lot of online learning. I did an MBA online, and the difference, abysmal difference from the teaching methodology of Gimbal Apps and other things I've tried is just incredible. So I decided to try to be as, involved as possible. I finished the Gimbal Apps PBL summer 2022, didn't finish it. I get into the 200. Plutus is still a little bit tricky, but as well as Juan, I am happy to help anyone with the 100 module. I'm pretty versed in that part, and I'm really happy to be here. I encourage you guys to take the full advantage of any resource that you have available here and anywhere else, and ask as many questions as you can. It is a great learning experience, and you will come out of this much more knowledgeable about any aspect of Cardano than you would imagine. It's a great course. So really happy to be here, happy to support anyone that has any questions. And yeah, just let me know.
It's been thrilling to start collaborating, Roberto. Thank you. Who's up?
Okay. There you go. Hi, everybody. My name is Sebastian Pavon. I have the honor and I'm really glad to be part of the Gimbal Labs team. I'm an instructor in this team, but I'm a basic instructor. So if you have questions about the modules 1 and 2, go for it. I can help you. But if you have questions about other complexities of the course, you can go to Mix. He's here. James, I think Roberto and Juan and many others can help you. But I'm a elementary school teacher, so maybe I'm sure that in the future you can help me to solve many questions in my way. I'm here because I share this thing of education as a bridge between you and your future, because your future can be brilliant independent of your current conditions. No matter what conditions, you can be the owner of your own future. So I believe in that. So here in Gimbal Labs, we try to give access to that mission. And okay, this is a journey, and this is a great team. This is a great place, and you are a great student. So go ahead and let's do it, man. And we are here. And I throw the ball to Steve. Steve, go ahead, man.
Oh man. Should I try to be motivational? Should I try to be grateful?
I don't know what will happen.
Should I try to point out obvious things?
Be as Steve, please.
Yeah, well, that's tricky. You kind of got multiple personalities. Here's the short version. I love James, I love Roberto, and I love Julie, and I love the people that they attract, because I know that we all together want to see a better world, and to have made a contribution. And I think that the freedom that we have to work the way that we choose to here at Gimbal Labs is something that we should embrace, be grateful for, and fight for. And I think anybody who comes here willing to learn and work it out, how to find their own value and how to contribute value, is very fortunate just to even have the opportunity.
Hear, hear, partner. Thanks, Steve. You want to pass the ball? I like this. I like not being in charge of who talks next.
Oh, I have to go with Mix. I mean, I haven't heard his voice since Sunday, and it's bothering me. So
that's a really long time.
I know.
So hello everyone, welcome. My name is Ali, and due to my weird username, people call me Mix. So you're free to call me Mix or Ali or whatever you like, no problem. My background is in cybersecurity. I've been doing malware analyst and penetration testing, red teaming, helping organization to secure their organization and their network system. But before that, I was doing some international businesses with agriculture and dry food and so on between Turkey, Iran, Oman, and India. But currently, I'm a smart contract developer, if I dare to call myself that. But I will be here and be honored to help you all about the question and the journey you are going to take to learn this technology stack. And to me, this technology stack, maybe at the beginning, it looks okay, we can do some financial stuff on transaction, but in further in the course and inside the whole Gimbal Lab, you will realize that it is not just about creating a dApp or financial or saving crypto or something. It will become more to you. Not something like a cult of ideology or some becoming a Cardano maximalist. No, I'm saying that you will understand that the tool you are getting to know and the possibility that you are going to build and add to those tools, it will unlock many opportunity to really change in world. I know it's a very bold statement that we are going to change world, but actually this technology can do it. It already have done it many things, but this technology can do to you, to your close ones, and to world, of course. So maybe this is a cliche, but I'm here to do my part, as small as it is, to make this happen and see in future a legacy that I, by help of many people, including James, Juan, Sebastian, Roberto, Steve, Adrian, and so many others that are not here, that I was able to do that, and I can see the result. But one side note, that I was one of the first person to graduate from Plutus project-based learning. around last year. So I came with this completely off the chart of crypto. I had no idea about the smart contract programming in Cardano. I knew about crypto, and I knew, of course, about the Ethereum. I've done some auditing in Ethereum even. But what's called Cardano and so on, I had no idea. Plutus Pioneer program wasn't that much helpful. It was more advanced to me. So by help of my dear teachers, which you are seeing right now, some of them are not here, unfortunately, I was able to start my journey. So yeah, I will be very glad and again honored to help you on your journey. And if you have any question or something, if you want to fight, I don't know, just call me. If I want to help you to hack your girlfriend Instagram or something. I don't know, maybe in future when we get to know each other, but
not saying you couldn't though.
Let's not let's let dig into that. You know, that's something that we might discuss in future. But yeah, if you want to hang around, I will be inside the Discord, and yeah, let's get to know each other, and let's build some stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mix. Thanks for being here. And just so everybody knows, on the live coding calendar, you will see smart contract gladiator sessions listed for every Friday. Mix is running that project, and during those sessions, we're going really deep into some possibilities of what we can get Plutus to do. So if you'd like a preview of some of that deeper Plutus stuff, feel free to start dropping by those sessions now. Even if you don't have all of the technical knowledge to understand all of the Plutus yet, these are really interesting conversations and a way of kind of setting the stage for where we're going to get you to over the next 2 months or so. Yeah, Mix, thanks for those. Okay, who's next?
I'll pass the mic to Adrian, my dear teacher.
Hello everyone, I'm Adrian. I'm based in Austria. My background is I'm a civil engineering student. I started my Cardano experience journey with the first Plutus Pioneers cohort around 2 years ago. I'm part of the Jimbo Labs community since around 1.5, I think. Yeah, and I'm excited about all the problems you will bring to the table, especially the Plutus ones.
I was throwing a message in the chat here. Martin had a question about the gladiator meetings. All of the registration links you need are at that Plutus PBL/live coding link. And yeah, Adrian's one of the biggest. Oh, we have Mix, the first graduate of an official course, and Adrian is such a Plutus PBL OG that he was here for iteration 0 and helped kind of establish some of these ideas for the first time. It's been really fun, man. Thank you. A question from Jeff. Hey, welcome.
Hi, hello everyone. That wasn't actually a question. I was just trying to raise my hand to introduce myself. Never mind. Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm in California. I'm probably my background is I've done a lot of like hobby sort of Haskell projects, and so I'm more like I'm probably unusual. I'm like I think a lot of the functional stuff will make sense to me, but I'm a complete noob at anything like web or React or JavaScript related, so that will hopefully be a nice compliment to everyone else. And I haven't really done much Cardano specific things, so yeah, I'm excited to get into it and start learning some of the Plutus design patterns. They look kind of weird and alien, but cool at first. So yeah, and I don't know if it's relevant, but I also have a Cardano node that is synced up but not doing anything. So if anybody wants like API access to it or something, I could probably set that up. I don't know if that will help at some point. But yeah, I'm excited to get to know people. I don't really know anyone in the community yet. I haven't like done any like community things or like talked with anyone, and I feel like I should start doing that. So I just want to say hi. Yeah.
Really, man. Nice to meet you, Jeff. And wow, yeah, it's always exciting to meet folks who are coming in with a Haskell background, but maybe not the front end. I can imagine we'll have some fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi.
Hey, and regarding your point about the node and the APIs, that's a killer growth area for the entire Cardano ecosystem. We've worked with a lot of students who live in parts of the world where maybe they just don't have the hardware or the connectivity to be able to run a node on their own, but would definitely benefit from being able to ping someone else's more easily. So we've been doing some experiments on that, but we don't have all the answers yet. It'll be really fun to bring you in on that. And we'll also talk about Dandelion later in this course. I don't want to give you the full background on that, but that's the other. There's two main tracks to what Gimbal Labs does. One of them is PBL, which we're getting started right here. And the other is it's Dandelion, which is our distributed infrastructure. So if you don't hear about that over the next few weeks, remind me to give you a little update on that. Speaking of people who are, who bring the functional programming language knowledge, Dan, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an expert in Haskell, but I can read it better than I can write it. Yeah, my name's Dan. I'm a fairly new person in the Cardano ecosystem. I did do the Emergo Cardano Professional Developer course, which gave me a very, very good background, but it wasn't taught in a way that kind of worked for me. And I joined in with Gimbal Labs at the start of the year. I decided I've got to put what little knowledge I have to good use. So I've been hanging around in the meetings, learning, contributing a little bit now and then. And it's a very, very, very welcoming place to be. So like Jeff, you were saying, you don't know many people in the community. Hanging out around here, you will get to interact with some very, very clever people, some very interesting people. And as a whole, it just all adds up to a brilliant organization. Everybody seems to be on the same wavelength, if you like, as Steve was saying, about improving the world. That's the underlying goal. We want to be able to change the world to a better place, to make it more equitable for everybody. And I hope as I learn more, I'll be able to contribute more. And if anyone has any questions, then feel free. If I can't answer them, I can find someone who can.
Thanks, Dan. Nelson, how about we go over to you?
Hi, everyone. So I'm a student in Gimbal Labs. So I attended the PBL version 2, that is last year. It was about in July. So that was my entry to Cardano 2, I think. Yeah. So I came into Cardano and then I found Gimbal Labs firsthand. So I've been kind of lucky, I guess. And Yeah, from since then I've been trying to stay up with Gimbal Labs and then try to contribute every now and then. So to give you a little bit of history, I'm still in college though, and this is not something I do full time. But when I came to Gimbal Labs and I joined the PBL version 2, the only programming language that I was really comfortable with was Python, because I'm working in academia, so I know a little bit of Python, and that is changing, and it's changed, and I'm really excited that I got to learn these new things. So here in Gimbal Labs, I really have two priorities, and one is to learn, to come and learn, and first at the first time I thought I was going to learn all the technical stuff of developing in a blockchain ecosystem. So that was what I was excited for and came here to learn. But I couldn't have been more wrong, and I'm really happy that I got to find out that here with you guys. And there's not only the technical stuff, but there are a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm more excited than the time I jumped into this ecosystem now. So yeah, my first priority is to learn, and then second, of course, I want to contribute to real projects, and I've been trying to do that a little bit. So thank you guys for giving me this platform. And then at the end of the day, what I want to achieve later on is to meet new people who align with goals and try to build together, right? So thanks guys for having me here.
Thanks, partner, for being here. Nelson's been a critical contributor to helping to get the front end that people are working through right now out to the world, and I can't thank you enough for that. So like you said, maybe some people already saw it on the course itself, but our goal really is for everybody here to have a chance to contribute to things, right? Which starts from meeting the people you need to meet, finding out what you're really curious about, and then finding places to contribute. For some people, that's right back into the projects we're working on here at Gimbal Labs. For others, it's because you're going to meet other communities who are doing amazing things, and you'll hook up with them. And there's, as you'll see, there's a lot of give and take. We have a lot of people here who make some contributions to Game Changer, some contributions to Mesh, some contributions to new Plutus languages that we'll be talking about starting next week. So just know that our number one goal is to help you find those things that are really interesting to you. Anybody else want to jump in? Martin, Claudio, Augustine, DC1, hey guys. Yep. And no pressure either. We always want to keep the door open for folks. So just jump in and interrupt anytime. Otherwise, please note that this video is being recorded. So anybody watching this video later, we hope that this serves as a helpful little intro to some of the teachers whose voices you might hear throughout the course and who you'll meet here at these live coding sessions. There's a lot of people who are not here as well. I mentioned briefly that we're working on translations of the course to other languages. And there's a whole bunch of people on the Eastern Hemisphere who are working on different versions of the course, and they'll start to host their own meetings. So look for that. Look, if you ever have questions about any of us, just be sure to reach out, and we'll do our very best to put the best contact information out there. What did I miss? Anybody want to add anything just about course structures? Any questions about how to keep going?
James, I just wonder that did we mention if a student have a question, where exactly they can come inside Discord to ask their question?
Excellent. Yeah, let's take a quick look at that. And also I'm looking at the chat right now. So live coding, or sorry, smart contract gladiator should be at 16:30 UTC. Is that correct?
Yeah, 17 March.
Okay, I need to, it looks like it might be wrong somewhere. I need to double check on the team up calendar, but I'll
To be
make
honest,
sure
I checked the Gimbal Labs calendar to, you know, to
that one looks
regulate
okay.
myself.
Okay. All right. If anybody sees where it's wrong, just let me know. Martin, it looks like you found it 11. Yeah, that would be 15:30. Maybe that might have been the Zoom event. I'll update the Zoom event to make sure that we've covered our bases. But if anybody finds anything, we'll fix that. All right. So yeah, finally getting help. Let's have a quick word on that before we call it a day here. You'll see if you visit the Plutus PBL site, there's a call to action that says if you need help, you can join these live coding meetings like we're having right now. And there's also a call to action to join the Gimbal Labs Discord. However, inside the Gimbal Labs Discord, we haven't instructed you on where to go yet. So here's a quick note on that. Let me just make sure my Discord is fit for sharing. Yeah, it looks good enough. So quick share here. All right, so this is the Gimbal Labs Discord. I'm on the welcome screen right here, and you can see down the left-hand side that I have membership of a lot of different channels. Okay, so when you first join, you won't see all of this, and there's two things for you to do first. We have a verification bot that instructs you to come to this channel. You might also see a DM style message from the verification bot itself. But if for any reason this doesn't work for you, just ping any of us. Okay, so my screen name is right here. I'm going to copy this and drop this in the chat. Feel free to DM anytime if you get stuck. Where's my chat? Here it is. On the verification step. Okay, once you're verified, you're going to be able to see this Start Here channel. And if you head into Start Here, there's just a set of emojis that you can choose. We're using a bot called CarlBot that allows us to assign roles based on just clicking these. You can choose any that you'd like, but the most important one is this book icon for Plutus PBL. As soon as you tap that icon, you'll have the Plutus PBL role, and you'll be able to go into the Plutus PBL channels down here. And this is where you can drop in and just ask any questions about the course anytime. Cool. Thanks, Martin. Got it. All right. So, Mix, anybody else want to add any details? Any other ideas for dropping by on Discord?
I just want to point out that, guys, you can search your question as well. I mean, of course, the material gets updated, but if you search your question at the search input top right corner, you will find a lot of material that actually can help you. And it is fine to ask us. We will be happy to help you. But maybe the timing will be critical for you, and you want to get your answer quickly. So yeah, also there are other material that you might be interested. Right now, it's about Plutus, and you are going to learn about what do we mean by Plutus? Is it like Plutus core and so on? But there are other matters that you might be interested in the whole Cardano blockchain or in UTXO model. So I recommend to just hang around in other channels, read those. And again, if you have any question in regards to theoretical stuff, philosophical stuff, I don't know, like design pattern, a strategy. How can you make an idea to something like a business plan to business rule, and business rule to business logic, and so on. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there are already many material, but again, I really recommend to search and use other channels as well.
If at any time you can't find the channels you need, or you have a suggestion for a new one to create, just be in touch about that too. We'll be happy to spin it up for you. Cool, everybody. So coming attractions, tomorrow we'll start once again with Q&A. There's always, you know, some people come and go and only make it to some of the live coding sessions. That's fine. You know that this is being recorded. And if you haven't attended a live coding yet and you're watching this video 2 months from now, just know that we continue to meet, and you can stop by anytime to ask any sorts of questions, from very basic getting started to any of the advanced topics that you're starting to cover in the course. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you. So tomorrow after Q&A, we'll jump into thinking about wallet security. But hint, 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 one tip is don't talk about it too much on a live stream, right? We're not going to ask you, you know, which sock drawer you keep your mnemonics in. We'll keep that a secret.
No, James, let's ask them.
We should ask that. All right.
Let's
So, yeah,
ask
we're
them
going to
that
see.
give
We're
us
going to
your
see
key. We will give
performance.
you 1,000 ADA, and we are Charles Hoskins also.
Which color sock do I need to look in? Okay, just be really specific. Good.
No, human land, fire is burning. If they touch the fire, much better than if we tell them, fire is burning. So yeah,
That's true.
Plutus-based learning.
yeah, and it's fun, you know. But James, I have two questions. I mean, it's not related to PBL. Just I wonder this question. I don't know. Should I ask right now or after the recording?
Yeah, let's sign off from the recording, but we can stick around for a few minutes if there's anything else we have to go through. So for anybody watching this, thank you for tuning in. And there's always bonus content if you come live to these meetings. So we'll see you soon. Cheers.